So.
Dude, so Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have any like previous knowledge, or did you guys like research the characters at all?
Yeah, I had no previous knowledge of the comics at all. So obviously for the audition, I had to read, do my research.
Had to brush up a little bit.
Comics, but I'm a fan now.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful series. It was way ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Even, especially in today's climate, will the show kind of have any underlying message? Because the racial diversity, as well as the characters, as well as the actors playing them.
I think if any show on TV has a message, it's this one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have diverse backgrounds.
I think across the board we have there's like an undertone of so many different topics that I think are going to be really great for the audience to hear and witness and to relate to and cope with. And I think first and foremost, it being in New Orleans, which is a city, that has overcome so much in the past. And I think that really speaks to Tyrone and Tandy's character. They're overcoming so many situations as teenagers. They're both, very damaged souls, and they are going through a lot on top of developing powers. So, I mean, it's a lot that they're going through. And and I think, there's definitely a bunch of heavy topics that we've discussed, but it's subtle. But it's there, and
it's
I
not
think
forced. Like we're trying to tell you something.
There's a good balance between it's a comic book show and a show with a message.
Yeah,
right. And it's all about just these are real people, and this is what real people go through. And I feel like these stories have to be told because so many kids that go through these things feel like they're alone. And that nobody goes through it. Because I must be unique because I go through this, but everyone has to find themselves. Everyone goes through the insecurities and things like that. So it's going to be good for kids to see themselves, and not only the teenagers. I think it's just a show for everyone.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you guys are going through some heavy issues with these characters. Is there anything that's a little more lighthearted or fun in the episode?
I think there's some cheeky and witty moments throughout the season, which is nice. It kind of breaks up all those heavy topics, and I think for us, it's important for Tandy and Tyrone's relationship. Yes, it is complicated, and yes, they are going through a lot, but they also are teenagers, and they're going to be a little sassy with each other, and they're going to, have these love-hate relationship fights. But I think it's important for, it to be fun and to feel like, they're kids and not just stressed out kids all the time. So,
and as much as we, once you spend enough time around a person, like, you start to, have your first argument and things like that. But, no matter what, like, this is like a pun. No matter what, I mean, Tandy brings light to Ty's life. Literally.
I mean,
both
in the show and apparently now in real life.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Literally.
It's the truth.
So,
Two questions for you guys. I want to bring up what your director Gina for the pilot brought up, and your guys' chemistry. Did you guys hit it off pretty well when it came down to?
I hated him. I hated his God. It was, and I try and not use. I try and use this word lightly. It was magic. It really was. We read with a bunch of people, but I think, once we went into that room and we had an improv scene together and we just fed off of each other so well. And I think both of us leaving that room, whether we felt like we were going to book the parts or not, it just felt good in that moment. And I think that's something we can never, take back. And I think we'll be able to hold on to that forever. And then we saw each other at the airport like 3 days later, and we were like, hey!
But like going off what Liv was saying, it's just like such a big part of an acting period is just being invested, and I was in the room with Liv, and she was so invested, and I was so invested, and it was just like the only way you can really have a show that's grounded is if the actors come to set and they're ready to tell a story and they're invested.
Speaking of telling a story and just kind of staying connected, will there be any nods or hints or inclusion into the greater Marvel universe as a whole, with other TV shows or even the movies? Or is that a no-no topic?
We hope so.
You hope so?
Yeah, we hope so.
And then just quickly, that follow-up. I want to bring up a follow-up that your showrunner Joe brought up in regards to tomorrow's march.
Yeah.
That's happening. You guys, obviously, your generation, our generation, is in that right now when it comes down to standing up for what you believe in and speaking up. Do you throw your weight behind that now that you've done a show like this and reading a script? Has it changed your worldview at all? When it comes down to being a change agent?
I mean, I think, I mean, any project really changes, who I am as a person. But I think it more so just showed me that I have a responsibility, right, to show people where I come from, that if I can do this, anybody can do this, and people look up to people like us, so we also just have a responsibility to speak out, period, and speak out for people who can't necessarily speak out.
I mean, I've said from the beginning, I feel like this show is a game changer in so many different ways. And I mean, regarding what's happening right now in this day and age, I think it's so important for us to be able, as people who are living it, to be able to tell that story. And yeah, I mean, I feel really grateful to be able to talk about these topics and start an open dialogue, which is so important for not just like our generation here, but even the generation to come, or the people older than us. I think it's just so important to all be opinionated, but to respect each other and to stand our ground and to be bold and resilient and have an opinion and stick with it, and to be able to stand up for what you believe in. And I think that's exactly what Tandy and Tyrone are doing, and that's exactly what Olivia and Aubrey want to do as well. So
Comes at a good time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you too.